So what does everybody want? The answer, as always, is head. I'm here again, with another episode of Dynamite Headdy, the final episode in fact, and this is going to be our final battle against Maruyama. Well, not really a final battle per se, more of a final escape. We're going to have an auto-scrolling stage on this platform, as Maruyama chases us from below. Not entirely sure why he didn't just stay on the platform and nuke us, but whatever. Nice of him to give us a fighting chance. By the way, if you happen to pick up the Buddha head from that head case that I just passed that I got the hammer from, you're dead. That is the first of 2 secret bonus points in this level. All you have to do is kill one of those purple Jizo statues. Either the left one or right one, either will do. The other secret bonus point on this stage I will not be getting. It involves destroying all of the destroyable boxes on the level, including all of the hammer ones and all of the regular wooden ones that can be destroyed with any head. You have to grab a hammer head toward the very end of the stage at the last possible moment to pull that off. You just get one shot at it, and I miss it, and I'm not going to repeat the whole level for it, so I'll be missing that one. This, I believe, is the hammer you have to pick up at the last second. Yeah, I totally missed it and ended up grabbing the shrunken head instead. And that will allow us to get past these tiny tanks to the end of the level. Although you can't get the secret bonus point on that path, you do have the opportunity to pick up a pair of 1-ups. I missed one of them, but it's the principle of the thing. I'm not sure what exactly that principle is. Anyway, the elevator has reached the top, and it looks like Maruyama has caught up with us. I am not in control here. Heady's just gonna freak out for a while Maruyama in his exciting new body draws a bead on us, and well, I'm certainly glad he's enjoying himself. Well, I guess at least that explains why he... Hey, fourth wall. Why he was just going to chase us up the elevator. Well, I think we've just seen why Maruyama's fantastic new body was found in the junk heap. Now, when your laser cannon has its, like, plasma projectile just drop off the end, that's pretty sad. There's another secret bonus point on this level that I actually just lost already. It's very hard to get, possibly the hardest one in the game, except if the one with Reverface hates you. Another auto-scrolling stage we have here. All you can do is stay on the run and try to keep Maruyama from grabbing onto you while dodging the lasers from the Spider Phantom. That's what the SF is, by the way. Never mind that Phantom isn't spelled with an F. That's the Spider Phantom. Anyway, to get the secret bonus point on this stage, you have to get all the way to the right and the end of the stage without Maruyama ever grabbing onto you once. Yeah. You can see I'm not exactly pulling that off. Matter of fact, I lost that in the first few seconds of the level. Always a party. But with the exception of the end boss fight, this is really the last thing we're going to need to deal with. And I'm going to take my health down to the last possible sliver, but we're going to make it. Some impressive hops on the Spider Phantom there. Don't know what's up with that right arrow. It's not like we've got a choice in the matter. Yes, thank you, Auto Rightward Scrolling Stage, for reminding me that I have to run to the right. And when the Phantom starts to explode, you'll know you're ready to move on. With a whole hit to spare. And final attack brings us to the end boss. This was all kind of confusing in the US version, because all the dialogue was taken out, and so we didn't really know what exactly was going on. Smiley. Isn't this Dark Demon? And apparently the Keymasters weren't inherently evil or anything, they were hypnotized by Dark Demon. And now that we've beaten the crap out of them, they're feeling a little more like themselves. Well, it appears Dark Demon, possibly aka Smiley, thinks he's the greatest puppet in the world, and I guess that gives him the right to control the puppet world? Well, we can't have that, so it's time to throw down. And you will get your choice of power-ups, and the orb in his hand will flash a certain color, which lets you know what his attack is going to be. The orange ball, as you can see, causes the ceiling to lower down over you and scroll around for a while before dropping on you. It's a very good idea to grab the shrunken head if you see that one coming, which is what I did, but I didn't make it. After each orb flash, he'll do his attack, and his cloak will turn blue for a moment, at which point you can hit him and he'll go, yo-ho! That's your opportunity to damage him. And now the pink orb, he will just send out this cloud of bat-type minions at you. Not too difficult to deal with, although they do take a few hits apiece if you're not using the hammerhead. There's the orange again, which means I should have grabbed the shrunken head, but I didn't have the opportunity. The only way you can survive if you don't have the shrunken head there is to get lucky enough that the scrolling stops with you near the big gap in the ceiling. Otherwise, you're gonna take damage. And as you can see, getting the ceiling dropped and crushed by it will not kill you outright, but it does a pretty good amount of damage. Pink again, that means minions. There is a secret bonus point that you can get during this boss fight, but it's another difficult one, and I will be missing it. And the way you get the secret bonus point is during that attack, with the green orb. With the green orb, you have to have the hammerhead, and then you have to destroy all of those little spike guys he sends up at you. And if you manage to destroy them all, without letting any escape, you will get your secret bonus point. And as far as I know, that is completely impossible without the hammer, because you just won't have enough time to get all the hits in. Oh, you need the shrunken head if you see the ball flashing multiple colors, because he will send that huge-ass laser at you. The only way you can avoid that is with the shrunken head. Nothing else will get you out of the way. And the laser is, not surprisingly, his most powerful attack. I think it takes off something like 40% of your health, so yeah. Best to avoid that one if at all possible. Dark Demon isn't too different between the Japanese and the other versions. Just, he has more health in the US version, which makes him a little bit tougher. Behavior is the same though, and I think damage is the same. And as you can see, I'm leaving in my failures this round and not fast-forwarding them, just because we're already at the end, so there's not going to be a whole lot more gameplay in this update. It's just all going to be ending and credits and what have you. Luckily, when you die, even if you have to continue, you don't have to go through the whole intro again. It just takes you straight to the boss fight. Very nice of treasure there. Well, while we're watching the carnage happen, I should note that Jeffrey Holder passed away a few days ago. I believe it was on October the 5th. So we at I Played a Thing bid a very fond bon voyage to our own Jean Saint-Mouchoir. Please give our best to Dennis Hopper. And in the non-video game space, my job hunt continues. I had an interview today with a hosting sort of rack space and co-location company, so hopefully that'll work out. If the job hunt doesn't bear any fruit anytime soon, I'm giving some consideration to setting up a Patreon. I don't know if I'm really popular enough to make that worth my while. I know a lot of the really big names on it have just tens of thousands of subscribers at least, but, you know, every little bit toward the living expenses would help. If I were to do such a thing, if you have any thoughts on what kind of benefits you'd like to see for subscribers, then I'd certainly be interested in hearing them. And also, now that I am in a place with much better bandwidth... Oh, that laser. Now that I'm in a place with much better bandwidth, I could always do a donation stream or something like that. But I never think I'm quite as entertaining off the cuff as when I have an idea of what I'm getting into, so the Patreon idea appeals to me a little more, but who knows. It's all just in the chucking ideas around stage. I have no concrete plans, but I am kind of lacking in good ideas for benefits, so again, if you have any thoughts on what you'd like to see in that vein, I'd certainly like to hear it. Or if you have any suggestions on why this is a terrible idea in the first place, I'd like to hear that too. Because there were some very worthy cons that some of you good commenters brought to light in the video where I talked about possibly setting up YouTube ads, which contributed to me deciding not to do that after all. And certainly I know that if I were to do the Patreon thing, I'd want to get my update frequency up, but, you know, if I'm not working a day job at the time, that wouldn't be too difficult. You know, it really seems asshole-ish to put a Buddha head in the ring of power-ups that you can choose from here. Not that you don't have every opportunity not to hit it, because the circle doesn't move too fast for you to keep track of, but yeah, that would really fuck you up, especially if he was going to drop the ceiling on you. You'd have very little chance to avoid it. I notice old King Dark Demon's health is flashing red, so one more hit ought to do it, especially if it's a hammerhead hit. I think any hit of any type would do it at this point. Yeah, I cannot believe it either. We've done it. So this is Smiley. And the big demon thing, I guess, was just a body he was borrowing. Oh, looks like there was a little communication error here. He was supposed to be a medal for the greatest puppet in the world, not the greatest puppet in the world himself. The whole thing gave him a swelled head. Oh, you're not a puppet, you're like a coin. Aw. And we get our face glommed. You know, I have to say, it seems to me that Smiley is being kind of easily forgiven in this whole arrangement. I mean, he instituted, like, a program of puppet genetics, and literally sent those who didn't measure up to his idea of racial purity off to the ovens. Yeah, we basically just beat up on Puppet Hitler. Oh well. I guess all's well that ends well. I hope none of the good citizens of the puppet show actually got incinerated, though. That would be kind of horrific. Looks like Fingy's home planet needs her, and Headdy's finally... Oh, well, never mind. Well, looks like we're striking the scenery now. Closing time, folks. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Puppet show life. on the big stage world. We all need the clown puppets to make us laugh. Through space and time, always another show, wondering where I am, lost without you. I do quite adore this music track, though. There are 3 songs played over the course of the ending, and they're all some of the best in the game, I think. It looks like even the Dark Demon Castle, or should I say the Dark Demon Castle set, is being taken down as well. But what's that? Oh. Yeah, Maruyama's found him a new body again. But I'm going to shut up for the credits. 33 out of 39. Not too bad. Could have done better, especially if we had a little luck with some of the more RNG-dependent ones, like the Tail Hanger or Reverface. But, again, you're really not missing anything for not getting all of them. It's just a bragging rights reward. No additional content or what have you. Which is not to say there's no additional content at all, because yes, as a result of our sweet slams and jams, we've got all 4 digits of the security code. And that enables us to fight the secret boss. There's really not a whole lot to him, but just a nice little Easter egg. You do have to remember the correct code here, because the game will not do it for you, or give you any sort of reminder. Fortunately, we've got that set. And the door is open. And it appears we found our way into the office of the producer. Oh, come on, don't sequel bait me. Maruyama taking over the castle was bad enough. I know there's never going to be a follow-up to this game. And no blowing up the puppet world. We already had Puppet Hitler. We don't need Puppet Omnicide as well. Well, Headdy, of course, is having no part of being forced to fight for his life and possibly enduring the destruction of the puppet world, so we're going to have to fight the owner of the puppet show. And first thing we have to do is take out his 2 mooks here, who just throw money up into the air, and if you hit them enough times, they'll eventually run away. I should note the money does a tremendous amount of damage. You can only take a few hits. So even though it's very predictably patterned, you do have to be very careful you do successfully avoid it. See, look, after 2 hits, I'm already in the flashing orange. But otherwise, no big deal. After that, he starts throwing money up into the air after you get rid of his 2 underlings. And the money will home in on you, so it's good to go to one side of the screen to get it to chase you in that direction, then move to the other side of the screen so it doesn't pin you into the corner. I pretty much guarantee you'll get hit by being, or get killed by being pinned into the corner the first time you try this if you don't know what's coming. On the plus side, you have unlimited lives for this part. You can just keep trying it over and over again as much as you want until you finally win. I gotta ask, what's up with that green hair? Not a good look for a guy who's mostly bald. It just has those tufts on the side of his head, like the boss from Dilbert. Kind of makes him look like Krusty the Clown or something. I never knew yen notes were so dangerous. And when you get your last necessary hit in, he freaks out like that, and one more hit will put him down. I'm afraid there are no additions to the endings here. After beating the producer/owner, all you do is get the game over screen here. The end. Well, that's really just about it for Dynamite Headdy. I do quite enjoy that ending, especially its music tracks. One of my favorite things in any video game ending is when all of the characters, including the enemies, kind of come out and do their little curtain call appearance. I wish more games did that, and I think this one did it better than most. So yeah, Dynamite Headdy. Aside from, say, Light Crusader and Stretch Panic, I think it's one of Treasure's more overlooked games, which it doesn't deserve. It's a really excellent platformer, if not especially innovative or anything like that. It's got a ton of style, it's very well executed, and just a good time all around. And I hope you've enjoyed following me along on the trip. I've certainly enjoyed revisiting this game. It was one of my favorites back when the Genesis was current. At any rate, I do plan on putting up an omake, just including the English version curtain call, so you can see the enemies' different names in the localization, as well as the ones that had their sprites changed. Again, there were a few that were very significantly redrawn, so that'll expose you to that. Otherwise, I think we've done all we have to do here. And I would like once again to thank you for watching. I'll be back with that omake in a new game soon. In the meantime, remember what the Dormouse said. Feed your head. And that's game, Hendrix.